I'm proud to introduce our guest speaker, my dear husband, Kabin Thomas. And although we know that many of you know Kabin, we realize that since he's been working a lot on Sundays and not being able to come to church, there are those of you out there that go, who the heck is this guy? So I just wanted to give you a little bit of information about Kabin. He's a musician, as he mentioned, and former music professor with degrees from the University of Michigan and Wisconsin. He's a Marine and Navy veteran, an actor, a former game show host, a medical courier, and a writer. His sermon is about a topic he's taught me a great deal about, gratitude. It's Kabin.
You haven't heard anything yet. There's no need to start clapping. Holy cow. Now I'm nervous. Hello, everyone, and happy Sunday to you. The party's about to begin. We're going to be doing the Grateful Game. That's going to be my sermon today. But first, I want to thank everyone for putting this wonderful service together, especially Miss Mary here. She's been tireless in getting the planning and getting the script right and putting everything together. And I can't tell you how lucky I am to have somebody like Mary in my life. So thank you for everything, you wonderful human being. And she even thinks that I still look sexy. 150 pounds of weight added on since the time we saw each other last. And she says after she has a couple of glasses of wine, if she turns her head just a little squints, she finds me as good looking as Denzel Washington. And I appreciate that. I also want to say happy Father's Day to everybody who's out there, and especially for all what you dads do. It's not an easy job, and I'll be honest, I'll confess to you, I wasn't the greatest father, and I'm very lucky that I have my kids still talking to me. It was one hell of a journey from the time where I got fired from the University of Arkansas, and I got divorced from my ex-wife, Denise. It has been quite a journey, and I never have felt like a very good father after that point. But my kids still love me. They still tell me that they love me. They still come and see me. I don't deserve their love, and I am very lucky and very grateful that they are still loving me. I want to thank the moms, by the way, who have to be dads. My mom raised me. My dad killed himself when I was 1, and my mother was left with 5 kids. And she had to quick get a job, and she became a licensed practical nurse, a job she worked for 20 years with 5 kids. And she, in the African-American community, especially in the ghetto, there's a lot of matriarchal activity taking place. The mom is often the boss. And rightly so. It goes all the way back to slave days when families were broken up and the mom had to sort of run things. It was a thing. It didn't become a national thing until it got to Aurora, Colorado. But once it hit the suburbs, it made national news. But in the ghetto, it was quite a thing. And my mother wasn't expecting that, but she became that, and she was my mother and my father, and she was a tremendous person. I always sent her, while she was alive, I always sent her a happy Father's Day card, as well as a happy Mother's Day card. I want to thank the Worship Arts Committee for asking me to come up here. I want to thank Reverend Michelle for allowing this to happen as well. I want to thank Judy for the wonderful music, and Holly for the fantastic cello instrument, which the tuba can never be. Thank you for your music. Thank you, Dave Rosser, for your great sound. Thank you, Bill, for recording this. Thank you, Kate. I learn so much from you every single time. How come you're not a Unitarian minister? You're a teacher. Yes, okay. Okay, good. I get that. How come I'm not a Unitarian minister? Because I'm too weird. But Kate, I always learn from Kate, and that is a huge deal, and I thank you so much. And like I said, this is a talk about gratefulness. And and the reason why I called this talk The Grateful Game is because gratefulness is a huge part of who I am. I've gone through sort of a dark period since 2016, since the election took place. I guess I'm not supposed to talk about politics on the thing, but I went through sort of a dark period. I was really a happy, upbeat, good, happy guy. And then all of a sudden, my Facebook posts started to become darker and darker, and started losing some friends. And Mary, my lovely wife, the air in my lungs, said, "Hey, why don't you get your head out of your ass? You need to stop throwing such darkness onto your Facebook page. You're not the person that I remember from all those years ago and from Abu Dhabi. And when you got here, you need to get back into the positive. You need to get back into the gratefulness." And that really did affect me, and I've been struggling hard to deal with that. But I know that she is absolutely right. There's no need to live in despair. You can grieve, but you don't need to live in despair. And so I'm working very hard to be more grateful, especially every moment when I wake up, to tune my head to the importance of being grateful. I'm not saying Pollyanna, I'm saying grateful. You can fight the good fight. You just don't have to fight that good fight in despair. And so it's important that if you are going to live this life and try to affect change as best you can, especially in a situation where you feel as though darkness is covering the land, it's a good idea that you wake up and you give grateful thanks to whatever you believe in, be it God, be it Jesus, be it Allah, be it Buddha, be it Captain Crunch, who gives a damn? That you just get up and that you're grateful for the fact that you can breathe air in and that you can breathe it out. And that's where it begins. The whole idea of gratefulness. It is so incredibly important. I remember the first time that I played the grateful game, I was in my very first day of recovery at a place called Chandler Lodge. I had decided that the alcohol, I liked it a little too much. My life was completely out of control. I remember I showed up on set. Here I went to Los Angeles, California. I want to be an actor. I show up on set for a national show that I won't tell you what the show was, but I showed up drunk, and they sent me home. And that was a bad moment in my life. And I realized that alcohol had too much of a grip on me. So I decided to go to rehab, and I went to a place called Chandler Lodge, and I was there for a whole year. And during that year, the first day was Thanksgiving Day 2010. And I went to we had a Thanksgiving Day meal, and they put us there's about 25 of us from the lodge that went to this person's house. He was another drunk who was having a celebration with all of the other drunks that were in recovery. And I remember it was a cargo van. It was like a rolling probable cause van, right? And everything was like no windows, and it's because it was a cargo van, there were no chairs. So they put 25 folding chairs in the back of this cargo van. Now, they didn't bolt the chairs down. They just put 25 chairs in, and we all loaded ourselves up and sat in these chairs in a cargo van. And the moment that we hit a bump, like we all flew out of these chairs. I mean, it was one of the most frightening experiences in my life. I thought I was going to be hacked up at the end of this drive because we were going someplace sinister. And every time we turned, all the chairs fell over. And so it was the weirdest thing in the world. And we finally get to this place where this Thanksgiving celebration was going to take place. And there was like 125, 150 people that were there. We were all drunks in recovery. And I was like, wow, this is kind of cool. And we ended up sitting around in this big backyard of this wonderful guy. And we're sitting in chairs. It's about 150 of us. And he said, well, let's play the grateful game. And I went, no. Because we all had to go and give a moment of gratefulness. He says, let's leave it down to a minute. You cannot tell a drunk that they can only talk for a minute. For a drunk, 1 minute is a warm-up. And so, 2.5 hours later, each person is saying something, I'm like going out of my head because that's a long time to be listening to this gratefulness. And finally they get to me about 2 hours, 45 minutes into this thing, and there's 4 other people. And I said, I am grateful that this is almost over. This is my first day as trying to be sober, and I swear to you, I swear to God, I just want to drink. Because it was just so much to have to deal with it. Although a lot of people found that to be pretty funny. I was quite serious. But the thing I will always remember is the importance of listening to all of those people talk about the things to be grateful for, all that they had lost. And yet they were just so happy that they hadn't had a drink in a day, in a week, in a month. And for me, it's a little over, it's going to be 9 years Thanksgiving. So very fortunate in that respect. Thank you. I haven't gotten there yet, but I'm good. I'm really good. I feel good about everything. The gratefulness that I'm experiencing comes basically because we live in such interesting times right now. I'm grateful, and I hope that the grateful list that I go over with you can identify with as I'm going over this list and talking to you about it. Because there's so much to be grateful for. Again, no need to be Pollyanna. Again, no need to shy away and to show your tummy the moment something starts growling at you. You fight the good fight because it's worth fighting. But again, there's so much to be grateful for. I'm grateful that my kids still want to talk to me, as I've told you before. I'm grateful for my dear friend, Debbie Kamais, who's been my friend for 30 years, and Mary's has learned about the friendship that we've had over all of those years, and Debbie loves Mary, and Mary loves Debbie, and she has just been my spirit guide and one of the most important people, because she has put up with all of my crap over 30 years. And I'm grateful for Mary, as I've said, because we had been apart for 27 years, and I found her again, of all things, on Facebook. And we were able to reconnect again, and she came to Abu Dhabi to see me. I mean, I can't tell you how grateful I am for that. I think the thing that changed, that's helping me change my attitude, at least trying to change my attitude on Facebook, is the fact that she said she was going to unfriend me. Mary said it, because she's like, dude, you got to stop being such a jerk. You need to stop being so dark and so angry. And that really affected me, because Facebook is such a huge deal, because it actually connected us. If without it, I wouldn't be with her, and I can't tell you how lucky I am to have her in my life. I'm grateful for, like I said, Olivia and Andrew being on this planet. And I'm thankful for Denise, bless her heart, for being willing to have those babies. And just so that you know, Olivia was 9 pounds, 3 ounces at birth. Yeah, women are like, right? Because men are never going to understand that. We're just not. Because none of us are willing to take our lip and pull it over our heads. Because that's the closest thing you could get to understanding a little bit when it comes to the pain of giving birth. Just a little bit. And Andrew was 10 pounds, 11 ounces. Yeah, and then Denise asked for a divorce. I understand. Okay, so to have them on the planet, though, is to have two of the most incredible human beings, and they help make this world a better place, and I'm very lucky to have them. I'm grateful for my siblings, my 3 sisters, who I call the 3 sirens, and my brother. My brother is still alive. In 2013, my brother Curtis had a double lung transplant at the University of Michigan. He is still alive today. I wrote a letter of thanks to the donor family for them being, for that person who died, being so giving to give of his organs for my brother to still be alive today. One of the best things I do as an actor is a thing called compassionate relief. What is it? What's it called, Mary? This thing I do. We go to these various places for the donor advocacy people, and we actors play the grieving family members. And our job is to really get into that space, that really sad space, because these advocates have to learn how to talk to us, doing the best job that we can before they actually talk to the people who've actually lost someone. So it's one of the great honors, especially since my brother has 2 lungs that were gifted him by this man who passed away in his family. I am, like I said, grateful to my mom and to my dad, who was a sperm donor primarily, because I didn't know him. He was kind of a crazy man. Sadly, he suffered from schizophrenia. But I've just been doing a lot of reading about intergenerational epigenetics, and I'm understanding that even though I didn't really know him, I know him. He's in me. And whether I want to accept that or not is immaterial. There are things that he had, experiences that he had that are in his DNA that came from his dad, it came from his dad, it came from his mom and dad, and all that pass on to me, that got passed on to my son. And so I'm grateful that he went to the trouble to have me there. And I want to talk about that for just a second. How amazing it is that we are even here. That is alone is mind-boggling. If we could spend more time just understanding that we are the ultimate intergalactic cosmic freak show lottery winners, if we could just understand how lucky we are to just be here. Look, it was 500 million to 1 for us to be here. 500 million to 1. That one little wiggly sperm doing its business, fighting up against the other ones, racing ahead, maybe bouncing into walls, but somehow figuring out where it was supposed to go for us to exist. If another one got in, we wouldn't be here. We got here. We are the intergalactic freak show cosmic winners. Bam! We are here. And we really don't spend enough time understanding how lucky we are, how much we take for granted. We shouldn't even be here. We're on a planet 93 million miles from a sun. 93 million miles at this perfect size. We're 114 million miles like Mars is. We wouldn't be here. If we were Venus, we wouldn't be here. We're here at 93 million miles with a 23.5 degree tilt that gives us 4 seasons, and gives us, and we had all of these events taking place before we even got here. 5 extinction level events at least that wiped out everything on this planet for us human beings to be here right now. What the hell is that all about? Like, how did that happen? We're here. So even if it's just this cosmic intergalactic mistake, random, freakazoid, unbelievable randomness that brought us here, this place should be a paradise. Because all the odds were against us to even be here. And we're here. 70% water on this planet. We've only explored 5% of the whole oceans. We're made of what? Carbon and hydrogen and oxygen, right? So that's what we're made of. I mean, look at the person next to you, the person that you like, the person that you love, the person that you hate. That your carbon, your oxygen, and your hydrogen. and we're here. Some of the most abundant elements that exist in the galaxy, we're made up of that. We're made up of starshine. We exist. We live on a pale blue dot, right? A mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam, as Carl Sagan said in his book, Pale Blue Dot. We're not on other planets. We have looked for a long time, and we have yet to find anyone like ourselves. Good Lord, we're so lucky. Why are we doing such bullshit to ourselves? Why do we have rivers of blood to dominate other people for a fraction of this tiny blue dot. We've got to rethink who we are and how fortunate we are. And we need to spend time every day understanding that we are unbelievably lucky. And tick-tock, boys and girls, tick-tock. Time is really fast. How many people have we lost since I got here? It's that grand circle of life, right? We're not here very long. Man, we get caught up in such minutia, such ridiculous minutia. We've got to rethink who we are. Mary's giving me that look. And that look, because she's my timekeeper. So, and you know, I don't want to talk too long. So if you notice, I'm going through all of these pages now because I was supposed to talk about that stuff, but I'm not going to. Well, you'll have to ask me back. And so, you know, so what do we need to do? There's our call to action. That comes from you and from Mary, Kate. The fact that I shouldn't just say, oh, great, what do we do? I should actually give you an idea of things to do. Things to do is to stop competing against ourselves and stop fighting. Now, I know some of this stuff is going to be bizarre, you know, a little on the bizarre side. But it is what I feel in my heart. Take what you want, throw away the rest. We need to stop competing against ourselves. We need to stop thinking that we're number one. And we should stop competing against the world, thinking that we're number one. Us first, no one else. What? We're all on this planet together. We're on a lifeboat. We're on this big, beautiful blue boat, man. We're all here at this point in time right now. We're all here to be together. We're not here to be fighting each other. What sort of crazy insanity is that? Where do we get that from? We're too smart to be thinking these thoughts. There's no need to win because, folks, we've already won. We're here. We've already won. We've won whatever battle that we were going to be taking on, and we need to remember that, and we need to share that with others. We don't need to fight. What we need to do is surrender. To surrender to our better angels, to surrender to all the good that we can provide, because we already know that we can provide awful. We're good at war. We're good at hate. But we're also good at love, and we're also good at giving. And we need to surrender to that side of our angels. Those are our better angels. We need to understand that being here means everything. Even if we think that this is some random event, because it's a random event, it makes it even more special, actually, that we are here. I think those are the lessons that we need to learn. We need to focus on those things as being important, because we're not here very long. We're all here together, and we're not here very long. And we need to really always remember that, especially with people we don't like. We're all here together, and we're not here for very long. We need to remember that, and we need to cherish the fact that we're here. We need to share, folks. We need to share, and we need to share some more. And when we don't think we have enough, then we share a little bit more of that, because actually we have more than enough. We just have to be smart about it and not live in fear and greed and hoarding. We have more than enough. None of this is yours, by the way. None of it. Not this church, not the car you drive, not the house you live in. Because you can't take it with you when you die. So you're just borrowing all this shit. You know? It's all temporary. It's all temporary. And we need to remember that. We need to remember that. It takes a village to raise a village. Not just a child, but an entire village. We're all here for each other. Let's lose the boundaries. Let's work more on that. And it's okay to be afraid, but we need to be more honest. Let me read the last paragraph from Carl Sagan's pale blue dot. It says, "The earth is the only world known so far to harbor life. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our species could migrate. Visit? Yes. Settle? Not yet. Like it or not, for the moment, the earth is where we make our stand. It has been said that astronomy is a humbling and character-building experience. There is perhaps no better demonstration of the folly of human conceits than this distant image of our tiny world. There was an image that he had the Voyager spacecraft do. It's at 4 billion miles out, around 2004, and took a picture of this pale blue dot. To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and preserve and cherish the pale blue dot, the only home we've ever known. I am so grateful that we are on this pale blue dot, hurtling along at 67,000 miles together, our lifeboat, our planet, our spaceship Earth. And let us spend more time appreciating that, especially when we go out today and we fight the good fight. I love you, folks. You have a great week. The benediction. Last time I forgot when I did it, and Mary gave me one, but this is okay. Do you folks have this? No. Oh, do you know? Okay, so I'm going to do another one. I was just watching History Boys, Alan Bennett. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. It's an amazing movie and an amazing play. And there's a little moment in there where the teacher is sharing with his students this statement called "Pass the Parcel." And it goes, "Pass the parcel. That's sometimes all you can do. Take it, feel it, and pass it on. Not for me, not for you, but for someone, somewhere, out there. Pass the parcel. That's the game I want you to learn, folks. Pass it on."